Family and friends gathered here earlier today to mourn the loss of Jade North and her grandmother, Deirdre North. Now I want to show you what's behind me. You can still see that plane wreckage that's been sitting here since about 4:30 this afternoon. It's actually by a body of water.
La vicepresidenta de la Junta Escolar del Condado de Alachua, Tina Certain, se enfrenta con mucha crítica después de comentarios que colocó en redes sociales sobre Charlie Kirk y su servicio funerario.
The protest has been going on for a little over an hour, and as you can see behind me, people just brought out a casket with the American flag on it. Protesters on both sides surrounding that casket. Seems like the crowd is only growing, and like I said earlier, this is just one protest out of hundreds across the country. There's also protests nearby in Boynton Beach, Stewart, and Port St. Lucie. But for now, in Mar-a-Lago, I'm Nicole Beltran. It comes as no surprise, but Florida is the shark bite capital of the world. 50,000 residents will be impacted by that closure. As you can take a look behind me, firefighters are still actively working on putting out this deadly fire.
Personas de varias culturas viajaron a Washington, D.C. este fin de semana para volver a darle la bienvenida al presidente Donald Trump.
We're now joined by WRUF radio host Steve Russell. Steve has over 50 years of experience in the broadcast industry. Steve, thank you for joining us.
Sure.
Y aunque la construcción para este proyecto apenas está comenzando, Hutchinson me cuenta que ya tiene otros planes en marcha para transformar esta comunidad que tanto ama.
Sunday is also expected to be a busy travel day, as behind me is Florida's new migrant detention center known as Alligator Alcatraz. Right now, President Trump is threatening steep tariffs on Russia if it does not take steps to end the war in Ukraine. Central Florida was hit with several feet of rain overnight, washing out the roads near homes and shutting down many areas due to the flooding. 63-year-old Henry Garcia from Vero Beach is scheduled for a detention hearing later this morning. Out to a stunning sight on the Treasure Coast. This is the moment one of our viewers came across hundreds of dolphins off the coast of Jensen Beach. How adorable. We often hear about jellyfish stings, but not so much fireworms. The nation's health secretary and the country's ice cream makers have come up with a plan to make the creamy snack healthier. Tinted waters, captivating wildlife, and opportunity in Florida's Gulf Coast, luring fishermen in.
Well, I love the water.
After decades of searching beneath the surface, today, fishermen are doing their best to stay afloat.
Used to, whenever you picked up a clump, there was 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 on it. You know, I see 1 on here now, maybe 2. It's kind of like a treasure hunt.
A hunt that was once so plentiful in these waters. Oyster populations along Florida's Gulf Coast declined dramatically during the last decade. Places like Apalachicola Bay, known as the state's oyster capital, lost 90% of its oysters.
That's a huge decline. It's declining rapidly.
That drop led the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission to ban oystering in the estuary in 2020. The ban is scheduled to lift in 2 months. But oystermen along the coast are still facing the consequences of a population decline.
It's a hard lifestyle, but you are free.
James Richburg's passion drives him forward. He and his cousin Dallas search Gulf waters for oysters by culling and tonging. Tonging is a practice that's existed in wild harvesting for years, but what farmers tell me is it's no longer nearly as profitable as it used to be. Grueling work in exchange for little profit is steering oystermen away.
That's why there's not anybody doing it anymore. We used to have 15, 16 boats lined up right through here, and now you see 2.
As traditional oystering dries up, another opportunity is seeping in. Aquaculture.
I think that's going to be the new thing when it comes to providing oysters to commercial markets.
Raising oysters in a controlled home.
This will clip on.
To perfecting the shape of the shellfish. In Appalachia Bay, a newer generation of fishermen is on board.
I'd like to just raise a delicious, beautiful oyster.
Gabe Milligan can produce more oysters in a quicker amount of time, boosting profits. He started his oyster farm a little less than a year ago.
I didn't like oysters at all, believe it or not. I had a really bad experience whenever I was young with fried oysters, and I was like, man, I'm never eating an oyster again.
He realized oysters taste a little better when he's part of the prepping.
And I just love being out here, and I just love to make a good living off of it.
Fellow farmer Dewey Hawk says the growth of aquaculture today can help restore natural oystering and the health of the coast long term.
A very good way to get things started, and it's kind of a hybrid between farming oysters and repopulating reefs for the sole purpose of having them to be wild tonged at some point.
farmers are looking to,
Bring the tradition back.
so a legacy doesn't wash away.
It's been good to know, and it's something I'm going to pass on to my children.
Along Florida's Gulf Coast, Nicole Beltran, WUFT News. Low temperatures and high spirits, that's the energy we're seeing from hundreds of supporters here for President Donald Trump. And we're also seeing that energy from vendors and artists looking to use their craft and sales to connect with the people around them. The countdown to January 20th led Terry Wilson, a painter from Indianapolis, to put the paintbrush to work.
I paint history because it's going to go on forever.
Wilson, attending his 4th inauguration, was one vendor standing outside Capital One Arena greeting Trump supporters and taking in the energy of Inauguration Day. Although Wilson voted blue, he says he takes any opportunity to cast some smiles and make profit for his pieces. Positive or negative, Wilson aims to leave a trail for generations to come.
Well, it tells a story, my art. It's my life. It's all the events of my life. So when I'm dead and gone, they'll still know what I went through and saw in my art.
Hawaiian resident and Samoan native Palota Tamu stood beside shivering crowds, dancing, singing, and calling out to them with his conch shell horn to sell his merchandise. He travels the country performing Polynesian dances. A loyal supporter of Trump's message, Tamu knew he wanted to travel to D.C. and make his support known.
It's not about us, it's about the generation to come. It's about our kids. I have kids, I have grandkids. It's about their future and the future of our country.
Tamu has plans to keep traveling and fulfilling his passion for dancing, and he believes under new power, the American fairy tale is that more real.
This is our country, you know. I came to this country. This country make your dream come true. It's the country of dreamers. And I'm one of those dreamers, and that's why I'm enjoying every minute of it.
And these artists and vendors do tell me that they hope to be back for future inaugurations, creating more art and making more sales. In Washington, D.C., I'm Nicole Beltran, WUFT News.